I'm actually at the point where I'm actually going to cut this down here. Yes, I know I don't have a guard on my grinder. I don't use guards. That scares you? Keep the guard on. I do this all the time, so I feel comfortable with it. Obviously, you need to wear appropriate gear. You know, it's all on you. If I get hurt, it's all on me. Now, I've got this end of it supported with my Presto lifter, my shop helper. I've got it clamped on the other side. I need to actually cut this whole section off. Really, the only thing that's holding it here now is this piece of angle iron and the one on the other side. So, well, and that little bit right there. But I've already cut the other side, so it's already through. And then in theory that comes off of there and I can kind of clean it up. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. And in theory, just like Houdini, I've cut it in two. Let's find out if that's true. Yep, it's true. Don't believe me? I cut it in two. So in theory, this is where the wheel and everything's going to go on the new part. So the wheel will be like right here. And let me show you. Pardon my camera shaking. That will be the new length of the cedar bar, which isn't too bad. It's about 10 feet, maybe a little more, 10.6 I think it was, which is at least manageable. Like I said, I'm going to cut this off right here where that white line is, all the way across. And so what that does is it actually, I'm going to leave this back section here. That'll actually be facing the window in the street technically. This portion right here will be gone down to this portion up from here up, and I'll actually have a table, or the top of the table will come all the way across and come out probably another foot or so, be about 26, 28 inches long, and go all the way across. And then I'm going to cut all of this out of here. It's all in the way of where your knees would be, so I'm going to use some channel, it's kind of decorative, and it's just shallow channel, but basically go along here vertically all the way across, so that becomes a stiffener, replaces this, and gives you room for your knees and whatnot to get in here. Remove all that crap that's in the center here. Like I said, I'm going to probably take this piece off because I kind of like that. I'll end up putting that on the end, getting rid of all this right here, and just utilizing the actual framework that's already there, which is why I left those long. I'll just weld them right onto the ends, once I get to the final dimension. And it'll look similar to that, which I think is kind of cool. So, and then this will be facing the window. These will be gone. These top sections will be gone, like I showed you from the other side. And then this is actually International Harvester, so it'll actually have the logo. I'm going to cut that out in 1/4 inch thick steel because I have a lot of scrap. And McCormick, which is actually the name of this, so International Harvester McCormick. So I'll actually have that along here, and I'll drill holes where that's at. You can weld from the inside, so those letters are kind of 3-dimensional on the outside. Pretty much going to leave the patina. I like the patina. This is more rust on this side, but it's got some red to it. It's just kind of dark here. But I think you guys will appreciate, what it looks like when I get done. This actually had an end cap on it, just bolted on or whatever, and I need to reuse that because I want to put that on the other one, which I've kind of already done. This is it right here. Fit perfectly. I had a little bit of a bow here, and I had to bend it in, but just because there's some dents and stuff in here from 100 years worth of use, I guess. But so we have that on there now, and I've actually cut the angle iron down, and in doing so I noticed that this has actually got a slight bend to it. You might be able to see it. So I got to fix that because it needs to be lined up a little better. The rest of it looks pretty good. That's the axle off of for the other wheel. Took it apart, just makes it a little lighter. And then this is the actual piece that basically sandwiches. This piece actually sandwiches. It's like that. So it would actually go something like that on the end of that thing. And so as you can see, I've actually got the end cap kind of on there. It's actually been bolted on. Got everything kind of in place where it's going to go. Now I've cleaned up all this in the back here. I'm going to actually tack weld that to begin with, and then actually finish weld it. I'm just going to tack weld that in the front actually. It's just a temporary tack because all that whole front section right there is actually going to go away. I'm going to replace it with a bar that goes across the front so that people have room for their knees in there. I think I explained that before. Once I have these two tack welded in, I'm going to actually put the shaft in, weld this angle iron with its bracket like the other side has to kind of hold the shaft in a horizontal position and upright so it can't move. Weld some washers on the end of it to keep it from going anywhere really. And like I said, once this is actually done, those things are not going to spin anyway. I really could make them now where they don't spin, but I figured I'll leave them spin until I get done with it in case I need to move it in the shop. It's easier to obviously spin on wheels, but that'll be one of the next things I do is actually, after I get this all welded up, I think I'm actually going to cut down the wheels to their shape. I don't know. All set. So I'm gonna start actually cutting that section out where the table's actually going to be. You can see a little white line there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. I'm just going to use a thin cut-off disc, and yeah, I'll cut it off and take some bolts out and remove that section, give it a little more of the look it needs. We're getting closer. So the next thing I did was actually weld this piece of angle across the bottoms of all of these, attached to the new axle plates. It's all one piece now, and in theory, I took all the bolts and stuff off of these. I'm going to remove these, the 3 here, not the 2 on the ends. They're going to stay there. And then I can actually cut with my Portaband or my power saw, hacksaw, right here, there, in front of this, and remove that whole front section.